You know when you're looking at a product online and you wonder what all the marketing really means? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're diving deep into one piece of everyday tech, the Lamicall magnetic card wallet for MagSafe. We're going to break down all the features, the claims, and even the fine print, using nothing but the info right from their product page. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the problem this thing is trying to solve. Then we'll get into its design, check out its magnetic power, talk about its real-world limits, uncover a pretty surprising sustainability angle, and then we'll wrap it all up with a final analysis. All right, first up, the modern wallet problem. This is all about the hunt for a better, more streamlined way to carry our essentials. Let's just start with a question I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. Are your pockets just getting too bulky? You know that feeling, right? That giant, overstuffed wallet that's full of older seats and cards you haven't touched in years? Well, that exact feeling is why accessories like this one even exist. And that's where the phone wallet swoops in. The concept is so simple, it's kind of brilliant. Just combine the two things you absolutely never leave the house without, your phone and your most important cards. It's all about minimalism and making life just a little bit easier. So, how does this wallet actually deliver on that promise of being minimal? Well, that brings us right into our second section, lighter by design. We're going to dig into the specs that are supposed to make it so slim. The very first number that Lamicall wants you to see is its weight. The big number here is 65 grams. That's about 2.3 ounces. This one little number is the entire foundation for their claim of being ultra light. Now, 65 grams on its own might not sound like a huge deal, but context is key. The product page puts it right next to other wallets, which they say can weigh 80 grams or more. And look, in the world of stuff you carry every single day, that 15-gram difference is something you can actually feel in your pocket. But it's not just about being light. The wallet also packs in a really important security feature: RFID protection. For anyone who's not totally sure what that is, think of it like a digital shield that's built right into the wallet's material. It's there to block scanners that thieves might use to try and wirelessly steal your credit card info. Okay, so it's light and it's secure. But the big question is, how well does it actually stick to your phone? Let's jump into section 3, magnetism meets versatility, and see how this thing sticks and stands. The number that really matters here is 3.3 pounds. That's the magnetic force, about 1.5 kilograms, that Lamicall says this wallet has. This is the stat that tells you how securely it's going to snap onto your iPhone and, maybe more importantly, how well it's going to stay there when you're yanking your phone out of a tight jeans pocket. So where does all that strength come from? Well, the page says it's using 16 super powerful N52 magnets. Those are a kind of high-grade rare earth magnet. Lamicall even claims this setup makes it 30% stronger than Apple's own official wallet. But here's a really interesting tidbit. They say that force actually doubles to a crazy 6.6 pounds if you use it with one of their own magnetic cases. The magnets aren't just for holding on for dear life, though. This wallet has another trick up its sleeve. It's also a phone stand. The whole process is super simple. You just snap it on, unfold this little hinge, and then you can set your phone at pretty much any angle you want, from a slight 10-degree tilt all the way to 170 degrees. It totally transforms it from a simple card holder into something way more useful. Okay, we know it's light and has a seriously strong grip, but what's it actually like to use day in and day out? Let's get into section 4 and talk about the practical stuff. Compatibility and capacity. What fits and, maybe more importantly, what doesn't. First things first, capacity. The magic number for this wallet is 3. That's it. It's built for your absolute essentials. You know, your ID, a credit card, and maybe a transit card. If you try to stuff anything else in there, you are pushing your luck. And trust me, Lamicall could not be more serious about this 3-card limit. I have to read you this warning straight from their page, punctuation included. Too much cards may make the phone wallet not flat or not stay shutting off. Exclamation points on both sides. They really, really mean it. All right, next up is compatibility, and this is super important. The wallet is designed to work with the iPhone 12 series and anything newer, so all the Pro, Max, and Plus models are good to go. But you gotta pay close attention to what it does not work with. Specifically, the iPhone 12 or 13 mini are a no-go, and neither is any case that isn't MagSafe compatible. Bottom line, you have to have the right phone and the right case, or it's just not gonna work. Okay, let's switch gears for a second to a feature that's actually right there on the product page, but it's something I bet most people scroll right past. Section 5, the sustainability story. Lamicall makes three specific claims here about being eco-friendly and ethical. First, they say it has at least 50% recycled material. Second, it's made with safer chemicals for both people and the planet. And third, it's made in places that protect the well-being and rights of the workers. And look, these aren't just some fluffy marketing buzzwords. These claims are actually backed up by something called a Global Recycled Standard certification. This is a real, independent stamp of approval that verifies the recycled stuff all the way through the supply chain. And it also checks for things like social and environmental standards. It adds a whole lot of credibility to their claims. All right, we've broken down the weight, the magnets, the capacity, and even the eco certifications. So let's pull all this together in our final section, the final analysis. So let's just lay it all out, the pros and the cons. On the plus side, you're getting a design that is super lightweight, a really strong magnetic grip, and that awesome versatile stand. But on the downside, you are locked into a very strict 3-card limit, and it's not compatible with certain phones, especially those iPhone mini models. When you boil it all down, this wallet is really for the true minimalist who happens to have the right kind of iPhone. And you know, a product like this really makes you think about a bigger question. As our phones keep swallowing up more and more of our lives, our payments, our keys, our IDs, are we just heading toward a future where the physical wallet becomes totally obsolete? It's a pretty interesting thought to end on. Thanks for digging into this with me.